Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 858 of Geeks in Space. I am still Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am joined today by the one and only Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And also the similarly unique Rob Roseboom.
It is me.
Gentlemen, how are we doing on this lovely Friday morning?
It's been rocky.
It's been a, yeah.
I'm hoping to close strong.
When I got the text that you guys were ready to go, I was in the shower, so I'm like still like just soaked.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll go. I'm running.
Going for the wet look, huh? It's like the 80s all over again.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty
Have
cool.
some of that gel in your hair, you know?
No, this is I make this naturally. This is my natural lube. I'm so gross. Human body is amazing and wonderful. All right, what do we got here? Well, the oldest one that we got on the list is one of those Lego ideas, which always get so many votes, and then usually they never get made. But this one is a functioning Lego Turing machine.
You know,
It's
that is
really
cool.
God, it's cool.
Right?
I'm guessing the stuff up the top is the program, you know?
Yep.
Or no, that's the memory. That's almost certainly the memory.
Well, it's the tape in the front, right? And then
the tape is the front.
The back's got to be the program.
The back is the program and the memory. Yeah.
Mm. I don't know. That gives pleasure to my collegiate self.
Yeah.
Trying to do Turing machines on paper and stuff. Ugh.
I mean, it's so pleasing, you know? I wonder, yeah. They'll never, ever ship it as a set. But I mean, I'd imagine he's got the list of goods and stuff.
I don't know.
Right?
Is that how those work?
I guess they don't really do that, yeah.
I should screenshot that. So there we go. Now, if we don't have a picture of an attractive woman's face, this can be the screenshot. Because if the thumbnail is an attractive woman's face, we get more views on YouTube.
Well, I mean, I could doll myself up.
All right.
But I'm not thinking that's going to work. Let's stick with the Lego.
I mean, I could, as long as I don't have to shave, I'm willing to work with you.
All right. Put lipstick on 3 pigs.
Sure.
That's our new thing. All right. Well, I like that one a lot. The next one that I got on the list, this was a little weird one. Ukraine. Oops. Oh, we lost our window, Chris.
I'll fix it.
Ukraine downed a Russian drone and found that it was communicating with a Starlink antenna on it. So that's how they're doing it now. They just put Starlink on their drones. So, Rob, I figure you're as good as a Russian drone.
Yeah, at least. Exciting news here. You know, Frontier.
A Russian drone just arrived.
Yeah, a Russian drone just arrived. No, so, Frontier sold or got bought out. And they were in the middle of laying fiber in my little podunk town downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And the company that took over has buried fiber down my road already.
No.
Swear to God, I could get hooked up to it.
Oh my God.
So
you should do that.
So they don't know if I can get it before winter or not.
Oh my God.
But I can put a deposit down.
You're going to be a fibernaire.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have fiber. What the hell?
I had fiber in Washington, D.C., and it was the best.
Yeah, I got it here. I love it.
We skipped all the middle stuff here. We went from DSL to fiber.
That's a little bit
short
of a
break through low Earth orbit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you skipped 2001 to 2023. Good job.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well, so they were saying the drone story. They were saying that Starlink doesn't function in Russia proper, although I don't know exactly how accurate that could possibly be. But they were saying that then this must be at least communicating once it's like over the Ukrainian border. But I got to assume it's not like that specific. But I don't know, because like it's one thing because people who have Starlink, like they used to like get in their camper vans and drive across the country, like into states where Starlink wasn't supported, and they were fine. So I assume that they're not like actually like using GPS to target you. I think that's more like, where's your billing address?
I'm trying to find the teardown of the rectangular dishy.
Oh, the Starlink one?
Yeah.
So you can see which parts these are?
Yeah. Just, trust but verify,
Sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm not really, well, I guess that white part could be the front of the satellite dish. It's kind of hard to tell since it's all mangled,
That's the problem with wreckage.
With debris.
Yeah, debris. Oh, debris. The next one we have on our list is another Elno related story. Do you guys remember the Cards Against Humanity?
Oh my God, this is such a funny story.
Fundraiser, whatever. What was it? They took the extra money at the end and they bought like a bunch of land, and it was like, what weren't they like protesting the Trump wall or something at the time? So it was border land.
So Cards Against Humanity bought a section of the Mexican border in Texas, and they would basically be a belligerent if Trump ever showed up. But of course, Trump never actually got that close. So.
No, our second worst American is Musk technically American? Does he have citizenship? He has to, right?
He has citizenship now. Yeah, he's probably dual with South Africa. So yeah. So Cards Against Humanity bought this strip of land, and it's in between a bunch of SpaceX land. Back then, it wasn't.
The pictures on this article are kind of amazing.
It really is here.
There's all these gorgeous like pastoral scenes and like natural land, and then
so here's before. Look at that dog harassing that other dog.
I don't think he came with the land though. I think the dog might have been shipped in for the photo.
You don't know. And here's after. Bam.
Oh, thanks, Elno.
And the way it says, get your space junk off our property and fix it. Well, it's actually really funny.
They covered the whole damn thing in gravel, and it's like covered in piles of garbage. They made a big gravel pad, put all their construction equipment on it. How many acres was it?
Oh, I don't think it was.
It wasn't that much, right? But like,
and also it was super cheap for them to buy it.
Yeah, for sure. It's land far away from anything. But
0.39 acres of property.
0.39 acres. All right. So, but like,
it's like my side yard.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is very much a taking, And
the pictures, the satellite pictures are especially like just heartbreaking because like SpaceX bought both sides of the like the lots on either side and then just ruined the land in between. And I'm sure that like nobody made a conscious decision to do that, but what the actual?
I mean, it's pretty irresponsible.
And like the fact that they're only suing for $15 million seems extraordinary to me. Like you destroyed a piece of preserved wilderness.
I'm not a space land lawyer, a space landologist. But
you don't work for Whole Holding?
Yeah. I don't know if I mean, I think they're as likely to get like, okay, here's $5,000 and some land, a mile away.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, Elon seems to have lawyers that are pretty good at pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Well, also, if it's 0.3 acres, I'm unaware of any place, well, certainly not there, where 0.3 acres is worth $15 million. Well, I guess they can claim that there's reclamation and punitive damages, but it seems like
and Texas limits that, so it's like, I don't know. And it'll be interesting.
The worst part about it is that it's not like this will in any way damage Elon's reputation. Like that's how crazy this is.
Yeah. This is like a gnat on a boil of a
everybody who hates him is just like, yep, that's the kind of garbage human being he is. And everybody who loves him will be like, yeah, he's stuck into the hippies.
Yeah. It's so weird.
It's really weird, man.
But you know who's not going to come out of this a winner? That dog.
That pupper. Oh, he's a good pupper. He's somewhere.
Or his friend, the other dog. My question is, what is this skid steer doing in the corner? Is that like the biggest pooper scooper ever?
Those dogs are actually really, really big. They're just really far away.
Oh, yeah. So they're like elephant dogs. And so you have to have an elephant-sized pooper scooper.
Somebody cast embiggen.
For those of you listening to the podcast, there's a picture of a dog and another dog frolicking in the once pristine wilderness before it was space junked.
Destroyed by Elno.
Yeah. And there's a poking into the right side of the picture is a green is John Deere. So a John Deere skid steer loader.
The best joke in the article was they said we would take $15 million in settlement or Twitter.
Or Twitter. Yeah, I mean the filing is actually, it's fine from a legal perspective, but it's got a lot of decoration, which I think is not going to endear them to the court. You know,
they're not going to get anywhere in the court anyway. This is a media play.
They might. I mean, the thing is, they have a legit claim. Not for maybe $15 million, but they have a legit claim for a taking. I mean, you know, there's no reason that SpaceX should have just trundled onto somebody's land in Texas. You know, very much, hey, that's my land place.
Yeah, no, that's
and started fooling around.
It's clearly immoral.
I mean, you know, he could have stood his ground and shot at the rockets or something. I don't know.
There you go.
But it's Texas, right?
That's right. It's hard to hit a rocket.
You could set up one of those remote control 50 caliber things for hunting,
like the ones that Russia's mounting on the back of Cybertrucks.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, wait a second. Starlink and Cybertrucks. I'm beginning to think that he's not all there, you know, looking after his stuff.
Are you thinking that maybe he supports Russia?
I don't know. It's beginning to smell like it.
I don't know.
Just saying.
I just have thousands of people on Twitter with eggs for logos for photos telling me how great Russia is. It's weird. The next one that we have on the list is I feel like we might have seen this before, but the article was new. They're using AI to identify new Nazca lines.
I know
they're in the shape of the Among Us back.
Yeah,
that's us.
I know that they've used that to find like civilizations and cities and stuff. I can't remember anything about the Nazca lines in particular, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really proof of aliens visiting.
Oh yeah.
Let's just lean into it.
No human would carve that into the ground.
No human would carve that shape into the ground.
No.
Ever.
You know, that's clearly an alien leaving a little calling sign. This is like the Banksy of aliens.
Yeah, he's just waiting. You know, he's just a friendly guy from outer space. He's like, hey, what's up?
I just thought it was
and he times it so you can't
see it. Mesoamerica?
Yeah, what's up, Mesoamerica? What's up, Earth? You know, and you don't see it until you have satellites. So it's like timed for a certain level of sophistication.
When I saw this, you know, I thought that, do you remember in Spirited Away, the little white alien thing, the little wood nymphs or whatever that have like the spotty eyes and they cock their head side to side and click? I thought that was like one of those, but all grown up. That's what I thought.
Okay, so we do have a small problem.
What's that?
In that this is one of the original ones that we've found as humans. The one that was found by
the AI
that the article talks about
is a little less impressive.
And then they say this is the AI version of it. And I'm like,
maybe.
It's a little. And here's another one they said they found. And here's let me find the after image on that one.
Those look reasonable to me. That one looks reasonable, depending on what
this one looks reasonable. So here's the before and after.
Boop.
I kind of see it. You know, like ready and before. There's the rock there, and here, let me zoom in just a little.
Thank you, AI.
Proportional.
Without you, that weird bird thing might have been a forever mystery on an abandoned land for Elno to dump garbage on.
The only thing that makes me kind of question whether or not this is really done by aliens is that they didn't leave an email address, and I kind of think that you know, if aliens, if they're that advanced, they for sure came up with the internet before we did.
Yeah, but they have Hotmail.
I think that if you come up with the internet too soon, it retards scientific progress.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
no, they all have Hotmail email addresses.
I don't know if I'm allowed to use that word no more, but yeah.
No, you can't use that word anymore. Even
I think you can. I think that was the correct context.
Oh yeah, you can use it. We can use it.
Yeah,
Chris.
I'd be careful. Like if I was in front of a bunch of librarians.
That's definitely one of those things where. So last night I was watching Bill and Ted. And
which one?
The first one. And of course, there's a couple of problematic lines in that movie, and it's interesting when you bump into those now, because now you're like, oh, hey, wait, and like you have to have this whole like mental context thing. Back then, it meant this. Now it means this. Yeah. It's still shitty. It's weird, and then you have to explain it to your kids.
Yeah, imagine
awkward.
Right.
So we had a couple others that we could talk about.
Well, the whole WordPress thing.
The WordPress thing, I meant to put one on the list, but I couldn't find like one good article that hit it. The story is, I guess, Matt Mullenweg is going to war with WP Engine, which is another
WordPress host. Remember, WordPress Automatic host is the company that hosts WordPress.com and funds WordPress.org. WordPress.org has all the plugins and repositories for WordPress installations. And then WordPress.com, is his hosting operation. And he has 2,000 employees.
It's a legit big-time company.
Big-time money, right?
Yep.
And so there are competitors. Everyone in the cloud business basically is like, well, okay, WordPress is 1% of the internet. We should probably host it, And so every cloud provider has WordPress installs and virtual machines and all that stuff. And then some focus heavily on it, like WP Engine and I think a couple of other providers. And the argument from Matt it was that they were basically saying, hey, here's WordPress, everyone can come use it. But they're giving sort of not a crippleware version of it, but like a very hamstrung version of it.
Like no
where
plugins,
it only
right?
supported like 3 revisions and they didn't support the community and all this stuff. And the thing is, one of the errors in how they've talked about this is instead of, because they're going after them from like trademarks and they cut them off from the repos and all the rest. And the thing is, if they had just said, listen, once you get to be a big enough size as a host, you're actually a very large consumer of resources from WordPress.org, their repository traffic, the plugins, all the things you have to do to not just host 1 or 2 or 100 blogs, but when you're supporting thousands for a commercial provider, it's like they're kind of unfairly moving the costs to the org, and they're not supporting the org in return. So the right thing to do is to not set up structures where, they can infinitely consume resources from a nonprofit, right?
It's like how every major employer in America underpays their employees so that they have to stay on Medicare
to whatever level is legal. Yeah,
like we can't pay you more. We'll just let the government take care of your insurance and and keep you below the poverty line.
I mean, it is very modern business thinking that you don't pay for anything you don't have to, and you push all of your costs off onto any sucker who will pick it up. And if Matt had come out and said, listen, they're a huge host. Yes, we're competitors over at Automatic with them. But what they don't do? They don't help out at all on the repos and the rest. So we're going to start by throttling them and then force them to set up mirrors and repositories and all the rest. And then you cut them off if they don't.
Which is essentially what's happening.
Which is kind of what's happening, but it's all dressed in this odd stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a lot
now,
like
one of the things I actually found really funny though was I guess the WordPress code has an admin area, and in that admin area, WordPress.org can just push articles to it.
Oh, nice.
So they pushed an article to all the WordPress blogs explaining what they were doing.
Oh no.
And so all the WP Engine hosted blogs had this admin message.
Oh no.
Because it just passed them through because
That's awesome.
they're just consuming from WordPress.org. And there's no editorial between them because that would cost money.
What a garbage thing to do. That's so awful.
Well,
it's
kind
funny.
of awesome
It's
because they're
funny,
like, look,
but it's awful.
To give you an idea of how little actual care they bring, you're getting this note in your WP Engine admin page.
Oh yeah.
Think about that. It's like if they had just pointed that out and just like grinded it in.
They should have just posted it
so
directly
good.
and live to every one of those blogs, man. It would have been awesome.
Well, they probably
now I'm
could've,
kind of
but-
mad that I never put any of that in /code. That would have been pretty cool.
Oh yeah, because all the people using /code and just free writing on
There were
top of that
there were
code
like
base.
3.
I'm sorry, I had to give that talk in Australia on how to install
Oh
/code.
God, what a nightmare!
It was awful. I'm like, no one's installing this shit.
No,
I mean,
there
it took me an hour just to describe like all the back and forth and the recompiling of the libraries and all the rest, right?
There were dozens of installations of that, and that was all.
Yeah.
I do every now and then get messages from people who are like, "Yeah, I used it for this academic thing." I was like, "How the heck did you get that installed? What a nightmare!"
Yeah, it was really tough.
That was
and Brisbane, not for nothing, was like 110 degrees when I was there. It was so hot. I've never been that hot. And they hosted all the speakers in the dorms. And the dorms are not made with any air conditioning, right?
Oh.
I'm like sitting there and I'm trying to evaporatively cool my body,
as
and
one
like
does.
I'm lying there and I'm like, oh God, just give me a little gust of air from the window, which is wide open. And what do I hear? What do I hear? Jeff Bates, who sent me to do this because he didn't want to do it. And I hear and I'm like, and now I'm gonna get eaten by mosquitoes. Screw this. I found a phone. I called the local, Sheridan or whatever. I'm like, hi. And they're like, hi. And I was like, do you have rooms? They're like, yes, we're a hotel. And I'm like, do you have air conditioning? They're like, yes, we're
a
in
hotel.
Australia. And I was like, can you send a car? And they're like, sure. So I just like packed my shit up, went downstairs, went to the place. I jammed the business card into the air conditioning power switch thing so it would never shut off while I was staying in Australia. I'm like, ugh. So yeah.
You need to be cozy.
That's my /code story.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
scarred for life.
The thing about /code is that it never should have been released like that, but
not like this.
I mean, it was a good idea to release it, but it was so ridiculously optimized for our installation. Yeah. Like, I can't half of that code. I think that one of the things that people will often ask is like, why didn't /dot succeed? And I can give you many reasons, but not the least of which is that because we had $0 for hardware for years and years and years.
Yeah.
The code was all glorious hacks to optimize around when every single scalability problem that we would have. So nothing was like you could never solve something by getting a faster database. We had the same database for like half a decade. And it was broken. It had a bad RAID controller driver. Like our laptops all had faster disk controllers than /dot's server. And
when did I send you? It was like 98 when I sent you guys hardware.
98 or 99.
Maltese or something.
98. It must have been 99. But so that code, like installing it was a nightmare because every single piece of it was like, we couldn't scale this component. So somebody had to build something freaking weird and custom in order to solve some scalability problems. So that thing was just a nightmare of weird things, which was fine for a couple of years, but eventually it caught up with us. And when you only have 3 engineers, and most of the time they're spending is dealing with denial of service attacks.
Dex Multias,
you deal with denial of service attacks every day. You don't have any time to do any other kind of maintenance. It was bad. Like it. I look back at that and it's like, if we had just had like 3 more employees whose job it was to like make the code good.
Make code good. Yeah.
Make code good. Then that we might have been okay.
Make code go boom.
But we just had people don't understand how cheap Slashdot was being run.
Yeah.
Like Twitter, they had thousands of engineers.
And they came 6 years later, 7 years later.
10, but yeah.
10 years later.
Yeah. Well, but at that point, we had already like collapsed on ourselves.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying that Twitter's your fault or whatever.
No, well, no, Twitter's definitely my fault. The whole internet's my fault, man. I'm used to it.
Totes.
Yeah. There was the OpenAI Sam Altman stuff. I don't know if we care about that.
Yeah, we can talk about it. Why not? Right?
I don't understand it, quite frankly. I just know that it was started.
That hard to understand. I mean,
I don't understand how you turn a nonprofit into a for-profit.
I can. Do you really want to know?
I mean,
I can tell you.
Is the answer somebody did something that I'm going to find immoral?
No, actually.
Because I think the answer is somebody's going to do something I found immoral.
Well, I mean, that might be true, but I mean, no. I mean, so here's what happens. You have a 501c3 or C6, and you want to turn it into a normal C Corp, right? That's the goal, right?
No, but that's apparently what happened.
Well, no. So, I mean, that's the goal, right? So you call up the, it turns out if you call up the IRS and you say, hey, we want to turn our nonprofit into a regular company, they go, oh, yeah, we don't have any guidance for you. There's like 3 lawsuits around this where people have not been interested in having it turn into a for-profit. And there's a lawsuit about that. And what happens in the lawsuit is they say, okay, what's the proportionality of contribution to this nonprofit? And then they basically litigate the levels of which they enjoy the new share, right? So everyone who put actual physical money into OpenAI is basically, they had a discussion and they said, okay, here are the people who want to put money in the next round when we're for profit. Here's the people who have put money in, not just in kind, and they have a different valuation for the in kind donations. Cause like the Microsoft thing was like 10% cash and 90% Azure credits, right? And then they basically do the math and it's like a modified cap table and Bob's your uncle. And then if there's any litigation, it holds up the conversion to a for-profit. So what probably happened, if I had to guess, they had a meeting with all the people who've put money in, and they said probably to Elon, they're like, Elon, all these people who supported you with Twitter, they're going to call in their notes unless you sign on the dotted line. And he's like, sounds good. And he's going to like, I can bitch online about it, right? And they're like, oh yeah. That's fine. You can say whatever the hell you want.
All the bots that follow you will agree.
If you bring us into court, it's over. We're calling in the note on Twitter. Because they're taking money in this next round, I think, from the Saudi fund, from Temasek, from all these people who said to Elon, hey, if you kill Twitter, that'd be fine.
Magnum says that for-profit has nothing to do with morality, and I would agree with that. But my issue is merely that you don't get to change your mind halfway through. I think that's
well. So it turns out you can.
I understand.
If everyone agrees on the price.
I understand.
And then there's the question of what do you do about taxes for the new entity? How far in the past? So when you create a nonprofit, I don't know if you know this. When you create a nonprofit, you actually file taxes as a nonprofit.
You do.
Until you're actually told you're a nonprofit by the IRS, which takes 2 or 3 years, right? So you basically walk the walk until they actually agree that you're a nonprofit. And I think that turning it into a for-profit, probably for the last year's profit and loss, you have to probably modify your taxes, maybe for the entire history of the thing or going back 7 years, which would be fine because they have mostly losses, right? So, they probably had a meeting with the tax authorities and they're like, so do you want us to just to pay taxes for the last 7 years as if we were a for-profit, because they're going to be like, yeah, sure, because that's just going to give you an enormous loss that you can write against profits for the rest of your existence. So yeah,
I don't like it,
and it's going to end up in tax court at some point,
of course. The thing that doesn't, I guess the taxes and the money are one thing, right? My issue with it is, for how many years were they covered in the media as a nonprofit organization? And now what we understand about people is that if you tell them something enough, then there is literally no power that will change their opinion. If you create a TV show where for several seasons a repeatedly bankrupted real estate developer pretends that he's a really competent businessman and edit it appropriately, and you run that for several years, no amount of truth will reset people's understanding of that. You don't get to rewrite what has become understood. So the moral thing to do is to start a new business, call it Closed AI, and figure out a working relationship there. Then people understand the difference. But this because I have the same problem with things like Meta and Alphabet creating umbrella brands to obscure ownership.
A lot of people don't know that YouTube is Alphabet. They don't know.
People don't understand it, and I think that's central to.
That's absolutely intentional. Yeah,
of course, and I think that's central to kind of the mess that we're in. As a planet, but
you tain't wrong.
But that's a whole different thing. Hey, either of you watch Agatha All Along yet?
Not yet. Is it good?
I have not.
I'm not going to say it's great or anything. It's definitely different than WandaVision.
I mean, I like Plaza. I like Catherine Hahn. They're fun. You know?
And the thing about it is that it's a fluffier show.
Sure.
Although there is some monster.
Wait, it's got Fluffy the comedian.
No, Fluffy wasn't.
He's very likable.
Sparky was the name of the dog that Agnes killed in the first episode, in the first season. It's fluffier. There's some really cool monsters in the first scene, but it's very much like more of a lighthearted kind of thing than, because I think WandaVision was dark.
It was dark. It was dark. It was dark as that.
The first 6 episodes of that show with everybody like imprisoned and everything, like that was dark.
Enslaved, imprisoned, mind controlled. I mean, she's worse than the guy in purple in Jessica Jones. I mean, she's awful,
man.
Yeah.
Magnum says that he thinks that Agatha All Along is a bit too cliche, and I could definitely see that because they're playing all the tropes. But I do like that Agatha is constantly like rolling her eyes at things. Like there's a lot of stuff about crystals in the most recent episode, but it's all done like really subtly and kind of tongue in cheek. And
are you saying our great Lord Geode is not real?
All hail Geode.
Careful what you say, Rob.
About Geode. All right. All right. I mean, I was raised in a geodeless family, so I guess I don't understand the rules.
Have you accepted Geode into your life?
Yeah. Magnum says he likes the actors. All the actors are great. The performances are great. I like, it's fun, and I think Catherine Hahn is the best. But again, she's like, from the fucking Catalina wine mixer on. Like she's my jam. Her bit in Parks and Recreation is so great.
So funny.
She was an Anchorman, for crying out loud.
Oh, I know that.
She goes all the way back to like all those good movies. So I watched Gifted. That's fine.
What's Gifted?
It's
I haven't even heard of that.
Chris Evans is raising his super math genius niece, and then custody battles and what's right for the child. I cried, but it's not that great of a movie. It's fun though. It's fine. And then I watched his 3 daughters, which is all about 3 sisters who are like coming together for their dad's hospice. And
was that good? Because I heard it's terrible from somebody who went to the screening in Los Angeles.
I'm not going to say I don't think it was terrible, but I think I might.
Okay, where's my button?
I might have personal factors involved in my feelings about that movie. I thought that Natasha Lyonne is awesome.
Yeah. So great actress. like between Natasha Lyonne and Elizabeth Olsen, like terrific actors.
Elizabeth Olsen was the weakest.
It was my daughter. She was in Los Angeles last week, and she went to go to the screening, and the director was there and everything. And she's just like, I have to tell you, Dad. You know, it's the actors are great, but they must have owed somebody money to do this movie. It was terrible.
I won't spoil
and apparently
the
director's
finale.
like, after the screening, he's like, well, you know, I really felt it was time that a man's voice could talk about the death of their father.
No, sure.
And he's like, wait, what? You know, because they gave like this big long soliloquy to the dying guy and some like dream sequence at the end.
Dude, spoilers.
Like, yeah. No one's going to watch the movie, man. It's not going to be. I don't even know how you found it. Was it like on Netflix or something?
I don't even know how I found it. Might have been Netflix.
I mean, anyway.
No, the ending is really...
And Natasha Lyonne's great.
The ending is a little trite, but and I thought Elizabeth Olsen was the weakest of the sisters. But like, 'cause one of the sisters is like super high anxiety, and I really liked that because that seemed very familiar. And Natasha Lyonne, I will watch literally.
I'd watch her open a mall.
Yeah,
you know,
she's really great. I don't think I've seen anything else worth mentioning. I did finish Chaos, and I was annoyed because Chaos is great, but it ended on a friggin' cliffhanger, and I thought they were going to wrap a bow on it. And they should have wrapped a bow on it.
Okay.
Stop trying to get multiple seasons shows. Just be good. Be 8 good episodes, and then drop your mic and be done.
Go away.
Television shows.
Yeah. If you're only going to be 8 episodes long, stop trying to set up season 2. Just make 8 good episodes and be proud of yourself.
Yeah, and move on. Tell a different story.
It's okay, because there's tons of them. There's literally an infinite number of stories. I mean, they'll all be ones invented by AI using templates from previously written stories, but you know, that's fine. There's no originality in the world left. And I'm complaining about a story literally based on Greek mythology. So anybody got a good show worth watching? Anybody got something new?
I've been watching what I've been watching. Shogun's been great.
I've been meaning to put that on my list.
That's worth the time. You know,
I just caught up with the Lord of the Rings. There's 1 episode left, and
the Rings of Power.
The Rings of Power. Yeah. I finally made it through an entire episode. Like, this is the 7th episode of the season. It's the first episode I literally didn't fall asleep during.
Oh wow!
Like, I literally am falling asleep during this show. And
sounds gripping.
Yeah, it ain't. But I know the problem now. I finally realized what it is. It's that these shows, and it's the same problem with most of these shows. They have 50 characters. And so like this last episode, there wasn't a halfling in it. Like the Hobbits, there's been like 2 episodes this season where these entire groups of characters are not in your show. So, okay, if your show has two completely separate storylines that have literally nothing to do with each other, they should be 2 different shows. Because I'm bored. That's my problem. These shows, they have 14 characters and half of them never talk to each other, and that's got to stop.
Yeah,
I'm tired of that. That's my complaint.
Oh, so you know, there's this hurricane hitting the southeast.
Yeah.
Apparently, like all these airplanes are routing around, and they found this one plane, Frontier.
Yeah,
they're like, well, we're going to Jacksonville.
We'll go.
You know,
one way or another, baby.
We're doing it. Hold on.
Yeah,
we got somebody on board. He can't be late for it. He's got an orthodontist appointment.
My kid's birthday party, and it's my weekend. There's no way I'm missing it.
No way. Yeah, that's going to be a mess. And Rob, I hear that the weather from that is going to totally mess up our orbits. It's going to make our orbits more humid and hotter in the next couple of days. It's weird. See, because we're in space.
Yeah.
Got it.
We're geeks in space, Rob.
Yeah. And on that note,
let's say goodbye to Chris DeBona.
See ya.
And Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
That was episode 858 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.